Hey guys, this is Jules with True Crime Reactions.
Kohberger allegedly stalked one of the victims. That's false. You knew that was false.
We do not have evidence that the defendant had direct contact with 1122 or with residents of 1122.
Everything is alleged. So you know how recently, with the release of Broken Plea and with Chris Whitcomb and with Dr. Brent Turvey coming out and doing interviews and speaking, that we have found out and now we have seen what is said to be a 4-page written by hand with a pen inventory list of evidence that was seized on 11/13/22 by the Idaho State Police. Both Dr. Brent Turvey and Chris Whitcomb have stated that this is a document that was filled out again by hand by Jeff Talbot with the Idaho State Police. Now, in Chris Whitcomb's interviews, he makes mention of how Jeff Talbot, who was the lead for ISP assisting Moscow PD, did not do his reports about what he did at the scene until December 6th, 2022. Now, again, this 4-page handwritten report was filled out on 11/13/22. If we go to supplement number 32 in the publicly released police reports from the Idaho State Police, we can see the report date of 12/6/22 by Jeffrey Talbot, and it starts discussing exactly what he was told at the scene, what he did at the scene. Now, also keep in mind, this is also the report where it's very incorrectly written, that the words that the strange voice apparently said that Dylan claims to have heard was, "It's okay, Kaylee, I'm here for you." And not a single interview from that date or any time forward that has come out has that been what Dylan has said. There's also discrepancies about the timing and who was actually at the scene or not. Now, I guess considering the fact that this was written on 12/6/22, this could be a completely different time zone. And he's looking maybe at his phone that's in his current time zone and not the Moscow time zone. I don't really know. I just know that that's been a huge problem in this case, is all the damn time zone discrepancies. Now, unlike in the police reports from the Moscow Police Department, where not a single Moscow police officer mentions seeing the SHEATH that was there as a first responder in any of their reports, we have Jeffrey Talbot showing up at the scene and in his report mentions seeing the knife sheath. That's another reason why the time zone discrepancy is such an issue here, because we know that Brett Payne, who shows up hours later after conducting interviews at the police department, is the first one to mention the knife sheath. And in his report, in his PCA that was released to the public, he gives himself responsibility for finding it. But we have Officer Warner claiming that he went to the left side of the bed to check Maddie's leg for lividity and never mentions seeing a knife sheath. And now again, we have this discrepancy with us being told now by Officer Talbot that he is seeing it right here. Near Mogen's left hip was a tan-colored leather sheath partially covered by the comforter. So if it was partially covered the way we see it in these photos, why did Warner not mention it in his report? Why did Gunderson not mention it? Why, when it comes to Officer Snyder, who was the first one to go in and take photos, there's not a single photo in that release from the mainstream media and nothing about it in the list that he created from those photos that he took? So what happened in between everyone walking around and Jeff Talbot getting there? Well, it becomes even bigger of a question because Jeff Talbot apparently wrote, again, according to Chris Whitcomb and Brent Turvey, this handwritten form that says it was found on the floor. So if we go down in this exact same supplement, it says that at 6:30, I started 3D scans of Kernodle and Mogen's rooms. That would be Talbot being the I. Then it says that at 7:05, him and Detective Schwecke and Detective Powell started marking the evidence with numbered placards while Detective Roberts photographed the exhibits. The following evidence was recorded and or collected. And as you can see, number 14 is K-bar sheath located on bed of floor 3 east bedroom. Now that is not what this report here says. Now I've also wondered why we're not seeing this full document. I've asked why several times. No one has been able to really give me an answer. And I don't know if Dr. Turvey is aware that it's just this little corner piece of paper that Chris Whitcomb is out here showing people. But this does not have a date. It does not show who actually wrote it. There's no signatures. There's nothing like that, like we have with other documents that we have received in inventory reports from both the House and from when they went to Kohberger's place of residence, when they went to his parents' house. We have the entire thing. The forensic documents show when people went in, they have signatures in different color ink with different dates next to them for when they went in and did anything to the document. We've been able to see all of this so far, but for some reason, Chris Whitcomb is choosing to not show us the full document, which is why I decided to ask the Idaho State Police for it myself. So when I received a response from the Idaho State Police back on May 14th, I wasn't expecting for them to tell me that I was going to have to end up asking MPD for this, because it does have Talbot's information on it. And I do know that they're claiming that Moscow is the lead agency in this situation here, but to me, they should still have their own copies of things. So I feel like this is just the blank response they always send out, because the protocol was, and it does state in all of the reports for the majority anyway, that the evidence collected was all sent back to the lead agency, which again was the Moscow Police Department. So today I sat down and I sent the exact same request over to the Moscow Police Department. Now remember, they have a new portal now. So this is the first one that I have submitted through this new process. Normally it's a form, you hit submit, and then you just get like a receipt of submission, and then you get an email from Amber when everything is good to go. This is supposed to be all done on the portal, and we've used Next Request for several other agencies. So it just seems that they finally are sort of getting with it when it comes to these different programs and portals that these agencies use, so that maybe they can't complain so much about all of the requests, since so much of it is going to be handled through this portal. But let's go ahead and look at the way that I have now requested this information. I wanted it to be verbatim because the Idaho State Police gave me an answer to a very specific request, designated that Moscow Police was the agency that had the record itself, and I didn't want to change anything. So I just basically copy and pasted and put it this way. The following request was sent to the Idaho State Police. It has come to our attention that a 4-page inventory report was taken by someone associated with the Idaho State Police on 11/13/22 regarding the 1122 King Road homicides. We are aware of the public reports released and to the text printed inventory reports attached to the summary reports. But the example for this document being shown to the public is a printed form that has been filled out in someone's handwriting. I have attached the image being shown to the public for reference. The person sharing this information is stating Officer Jeff Talbot, but has shown no proof of that. Regardless of the amount of the pages or its author, I am formally requesting this document and any and all associated information. As of 5/14/26, this is their response. The Idaho State Police has no responsive records. Anything related to this request was turned over to the lead agency for this case, Moscow PD. According to the Idaho State Police, the Moscow Police Department is in possession of this record. I have attached the available image the public has at this moment in time of the document in question, which has been brought to the public's attention by one of the defense team's experts and a recent book release. Please provide this information as designated per Idaho Code Title 74. And I attached the document here. It should be able to let me open it. Is it going to show you this way? Yep. This is what I attached, because this is what we have. And this is what I mean. Like, we have this portion of it, but we don't see who signed it. We don't see the date of any of it. This is what we see. So we'll see what the Moscow Police Department does. But it seems like every time so far that I've asked for information like this, I just get the runaround of we can't find it, we don't know where it is. And I think the most important one that happened here recently was regarding the pocket recorder from the Kohberger interrogation in Pennsylvania, and then the transcription from that pocket recorder. Both of those have been missing for months, and both agencies know this, and they don't seem to be doing anything about it. But that's it, you guys. I just wanted to give you an update on this situation, and we are still waiting for several other things. I am still in process of getting the Google Drive link all put together and organized. I've been separating a lot of documentation, getting a lot of indexes done, putting a lot of FOIA information in there, transferring documents over. There's a link for it down in the description box for anyone that wants to see it. In my view, the way that we've reviewed it on this channel, it's there for any and everyone to go ahead and have access to. There's also raw files from the 1112 King Road camera that we paid for, any of the interview raw files that we paid for, everything is in there. You guys help crowdfund this entire thing. You being here and watching this channel help pay for a lot of the stuff that's been happening and that we've been getting. So it's not just my information, it's definitely the community's information. Therefore, again, the link is in the description box down below. Let me know what you guys are thinking, and if you think that Moscow police is going to actually produce the document, or if they're going to play the runaround like they have with everything else. Maybe we should just start taking bets. If you like the way that I present this information and give my opinion, please don't forget to leave a like on the way out, subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed already, and please don't forget to make sure that the notification bell is set to all so you don't miss any of my rants, reviews, reactions, updates, or deep dives. See y'all.